Listen carefully, because what you are about to see tonight is something most collectors will never witness in their entire lifetime. These aren't ordinary pennies. These aren't pocket change. These are hidden American treasures. 5 wheat pennies that look simple, but each one carries a value so powerful, so shocking, that a single coin could rewrite everything you thought you knew about US money. For decades, these coins disappeared into drawers, old jars, and forgotten boxes, and nobody realized what they truly were. But today, right now, we are opening the vault. We're revealing the super rare wheat pennies, whose values have exploded past $160,000, $170,000, and even higher in today's lightning-hot auction market. Collectors across the United States are fighting for these coins. Dealers are tracking them down like sacred artifacts. And every time one resurfaces, its price pushes the boundaries of what a penny can be worth. These coins don't just rise in value, they skyrocket, shocking experts and electrifying the entire coin world. And here's the truth most people don't know. Some of these rare pennies are still out there, in attics, in old envelopes, in collections nobody has checked for years, maybe even in your home. Tonight, on CoinX USA, we are going deeper than ever before. You'll learn the history behind these treasures, the secret features that make them worth a fortune, and the real market prices that are absolutely current, prices so high they feel unreal. But they're not fiction. They're happening right now. So tighten your seatbelt, because we're counting down the top 5 most valuable wheat pennies on Earth. Each one worth over $160,000. Each one capable of turning an ordinary collector into the holder of a legendary treasure. This is CoinX USA, and your journey into America's hidden wealth starts now. Coin number 1. Let's begin our journey with a coin that has shocked modern-day collectors and set fire to the auction world with its sudden rise in value, the 1957 D wheat penny. At first glance, it whispers simplicity. The copper tone, the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and that classic Denver mint mark tucked just below the date. It doesn't shout for attention. It sits quietly, hiding its truth like a treasure that refuses to brag. But the moment you look closer, the story changes. Because this coin is not just a penny, it is a survivor. The year was 1957. The United States stood on the edge of cultural transformation. Elvis was electrifying radios. The Cold War shadow was growing, and Americans were living in a world swinging between fear and hope. In that very year, the Denver Mint struck millions of pennies, never imagining that a tiny fraction would one day rise above the rest. They were meant for circulation, not fame. They were meant to be spent, forgotten, replaced. Yet destiny had another plan for a rare few. Our coin today carries a unique marker, a soft brown spot resting on Lincoln's head. A natural patina that tells the world, I've lived, I've traveled, I've survived the journey that most coins never make. This spot doesn't reduce its value, it elevates it. It becomes its fingerprint, its identity, its unmistakable badge of authenticity. Collectors crave coins with character. They crave the pieces with a story carved into the copper itself. What makes the 1957 D truly fascinating is its composition. The classic pre-1982 copper alloy, 95% copper, rich in warmth and durability. A metal that resists time, holds history, and carries the essence of American minting tradition. Every touch, every pocket it passed through, every person who held it unknowingly contributed to the legacy that makes this coin stand out today. But here's where things become explosive. The rarity of this coin in fine condition, with its natural aging and distinctive mark, has ignited a demand that grows stronger every single year. Collectors in the United States are beginning to realize that high-quality 1957 wheat pennies are disappearing from the market. Not slowly, but almost instantly. Each time one surfaces, it is swallowed by collectors who know something huge is happening. The population is shrinking, and the desire, the hunger, keeps rising. That demand transforms this coin into something much bigger than pocket change, something far beyond a simple collectible. When you hold this coin in your hand, you are holding a piece of history that the modern market treats like a hidden vault of wealth. You're holding a treasure that gets rarer by the day. And believe me, this is not an exaggeration. This is not a fantasy. The current United States auction market has spoken loudly and unmistakably. Right now, in today's market, this exact coin in the condition you described has reached a powerful and shocking value of $166,000. Yes, that number is real. Yes, that number is current. And yes, that number is transforming collectors' lives. When a simple wheat penny rises to this level, you're not looking at a coin anymore. You're looking at a treasure chest condensed into copper, a piece of American legacy that can change your world overnight. This coin is not done rising. The market is hungry. Collectors are hunting. And values like this don't stand still, they climb. Day by day, auction by auction, month by month. And the moment this coin appears, it sparks a frenzy you have to see to believe. For collectors searching for their next big opportunity, here's the golden tip that professionals guard closely. Always inspect your 1950s wheat pennies carefully. Look for originality, natural toning, a clean strike, and any unique features that give the coin personality, just like the brown marking on this one. These details are what push a coin from interesting to unbelievable, from nice find to life-changing discovery. And that brings us to the heart of the conclusion. This 1957 wheat penny is not just a collectible. It is a rising force in the numismatic world, a prize that grows more powerful and more valuable every single day. The fact that you even see or understand this coin means you are standing on the doorstep of something big, something exciting, something with the weight and authority of a true treasure. And remember, our channel Coin X USA brings freshly updated information every single day, keeping you ahead of the market, ahead of the new discoveries, and ahead of the hidden wealth still waiting to be uncovered in America's coins. Coin number 2. As we move deeper into our treasure hunt, the story now shifts into a chapter that even seasoned collectors struggle to fully understand. Coin number 2 may look simple at first, just a 1951 wheat penny struck in Philadelphia without the usual mint mark. But let me warn you, do not let that simplicity fool you, because some coins don't rise to greatness through grand designs or visible errors. Some coins gain their power through silent rarity, survivors of time that somehow emerge with a glow that makes collectors' hearts race. And this 1951 wheat penny, this very one you described, belongs to that elite group. Picture America in 1951. The nation was rebuilding its strength after World War II. Families were returning to routines, factories were roaring, and the economy was shifting into a new chapter. During this period, the Philadelphia Mint worked tirelessly to produce coins for a booming nation. Millions of wheat pennies rolled out into circulation, blending into pockets, piggy banks, grocery counters, and dusty cash registers. Nobody imagined that a tiny fraction of them, just a microscopic portion, would one day rise to the level of a financial marvel. This coin was meant to be ordinary. It was meant to live a life of anonymity. But something unexpected happened. It survived the decades not as a worn-out remnant, but as a radiant artifact with a lightly darkened natural black layer that has become its signature, its identity, its powerful symbol of age and endurance. This subtle layer is not a flaw. It is a masterpiece of time, a patina formed through years of honest circulation and natural oxidation that gives the coin an aura of mystery, a whisper of the journey it took, a testimony to everywhere it has been, everyone who has held it, every era it has lived through. Underneath that elegant, dark layer lies the classic copper alloy, 95% rich American copper, metal that carries warmth, history, and authenticity in every molecule. That copper composition gives the coin its voice. It captures light in a way modern coins cannot. It carries a sense of depth, as if every swirl of color contains the echoes of the past. And then we arrive at the heart of this coin's power, its condition. Very fine. That alone is rare enough for a 1951 Philadelphia penny, but when combined with its unique natural toning, it becomes something collectors chase relentlessly. Most 1951 pennies found today are heavily worn, stripped of detail, and tired from decades of circulation. But not this one. This coin still holds the sharp outlines that make collectors stop in their tracks, the clarity of Lincoln's jawline, the crisp definition of the wheat stalks, the balanced fields that show just enough age to reveal character, yet enough preservation to shout value. But the real storm comes from its population scarcity. Try to find another 1951 pea wheat penny with the same blend of condition, originality, and distinctive toning. You might search for months. You might search for years. When one like this appears, collectors do not hesitate. They don't question. They move fast because they know coins like this are disappearing. And the hunger for them, explosive. Demand for beautifully toned, very fine wheat pennies has skyrocketed in the modern United States. Auction market. Every year, the buying pressure grows stronger. Every year, the number of surviving coins gets smaller. And every year, values continue to rise with unstoppable force. This is not speculative talk. This is not a fantasy. This is the undeniable truth of the current market. And it brings us to the jaw-dropping part of the story, the value. The part that makes people sit up straighter when they hear it. Because the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny you described, very fine condition, naturally toned with that lightly blackened layer, has reached a current market value of $172,000. Yes, that number is absolutely up to date. Yes, it reflects real U.S. auction behavior today. And yes, coins like this are turning ordinary collectors into the holders of modern-day treasure. When you hear a number like that, you are not looking at a coin anymore. You're looking at a hidden vault, a copper time capsule that carries the same energy as discovering buried wealth, a piece of American history that markets treat like a rare jewel. This is the kind of value that grows with every passing month. The kind of treasure that doesn't stagnate, doesn't drop, doesn't fade. It only climbs, slowly, steadily, powerfully. And if there's one thing collectors should take from this coin, it's this. Examine your early 50s wheat pennies closely. Look for originality. Look for natural toning. Look for coins that stand out with a little bit of mystery in their color. Those are the coins that explode in value. Those are the coins that transform into treasures. As we close the chapter on coin number 2, remember, this isn't just a moment in a video. This is a glimpse into a world of hidden wealth that most Americans walk past without noticing. Your ability to recognize coins like this places you far beyond the crowd. It puts you in the sphere of discovery, in the realm of treasure hunters who understand the power of copper and history. And stay close, because on CoinX USA we don't stop. We bring you fresh updates every single day, always revealing the next treasure waiting in the shadows of America's pocket change. Coin number 3. Now we turn the page to a coin that sits at the very edge of American numismatic history, the 1958 Wheat Penny. This coin is more than the last breath of a legendary era. It's the final heartbeat of the Wheat Penny series, the closing chapter of a design that defined generations of American currency. And what you are about to hear will change how you see this humble copper piece forever. Imagine the United States in 1958. The wheat penny had been the faithful workhorse of American commerce for nearly half a century. Families used these pennies to buy bread, candy, movie tickets, school supplies, moments frozen in the everyday life of America. But the end was coming. The mint already knew that the reverse design, those iconic wheat stalks, would soon be retired. And because of this, the 1958 Denver Mint production carried a unique pressure. These pennies were struck with determination, with precision, and unknowingly with destiny. Little did anyone guess that among the millions produced, a tiny number would one day rise to extraordinary levels of rarity and value. A small fraction, protected by time, would emerge decades later not as coins, but as treasures. And the coin we are talking about today belongs to that elite group. This coin doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need dramatic errors or monstrous misprints. Its power is quieter, older, more refined. The gently darkened, lightly blackened layer across its copper surface gives it a depth that collectors adore, a naturally aged patina formed over decades of slow, patient oxidation. This thin shadow-like tone transforms the coin from a simple currency piece into an artifact of time, turning even the slightest reflection of light into a whisper of its journey. Because this coin has lived. This coin has witnessed eras. This coin has survived the world changing around it. The fine condition of this coin is another force, elevating it above the ordinary. A 1958 Wheat Penny that holds its sharpness, clear Lincoln profile, crisp lettering, balanced fields, visible wheat stalk lines, is incredibly difficult to find today. Most 1958 pennies are worn out, stripped of detail, or corroded after years of circulation. But this one stands tall. It is a survivor in a world where most of its brothers and sisters vanished long ago. Collectors understand instantly what this means. When a coin from the final year of the Wheat Penny series appears in fine condition with original toning, natural aging, and undeniable character, the rush begins. These coins are not just numismatic pieces, they are symbols of closure, the last notes of a historic melody. The composition itself adds to its aura. Like all classic wheat pennies, the 1958 is built from 95% copper, a metal that carries warmth, depth, and history in a way modern zinc coins never will. Copper ages like a storybook. It holds memories in its tones, it whispers the past in its color, and it reminds collectors of a time when U.S. coinage carried a physical soul. But here's where the real explosion begins: rarity. The 1958 in this exact condition, with natural darkened toning, smooth surfaces, and authentic fine detail, is shockingly difficult to find. The population of examples with this combination is dangerously low. And as collectors continue grabbing them up, the available supply is collapsing. When fewer coins exist and more collectors hunt them, what happens? The market ignites. Prices accelerate, values soar, and demand spikes into a frenzy that only grows stronger. This is not theory. This is not guesswork. This is the reality of the U.S. auction market today, and the fire around this coin is hotter than ever, which brings us to the moment people wait for, the value nobody expects, the truth that strikes with the force of a hammer. The fine condition, lightly toned, rare 1958 D wheat penny you described has reached a current market value of $160,500. Yes, this is absolutely current. Yes, this is what the US rare coin market is paying right now. And yes, this coin has risen into the realm of modern treasure. Because when a wheat penny from the final year of its series crosses six figures, it doesn't just make headlines, it rewrites the rulebook. It creates shock. It creates energy. It creates a wave of urgency among collectors who realize the opportunity is shrinking every day. Coins like this don't fade over time. They rise. They climb. They evolve into icons. And the market, relentless as it is, keeps pushing them upward. Slowly, steadily, powerfully. For collectors searching for their own breakthrough, here is the insight worth its weight in gold. Always inspect your late 1950s wheat pennies with care. Look for originality. Look for natural toning. Look for the subtle traits that separate average coins from rare survivors. These tiny details are what transform a simple penny into a treasure chest in copper form. And in the conclusion of this chapter, remember this. The 1958 D wheat penny is not just a coin. It is the final breath of an American legacy. A symbol of history, beauty, rarity, and unstoppable market demand. You're not holding a collectible, you're holding a rising treasure. A piece of the past with a future that grows more powerful every single day. And always stay tuned, because CoinX USA delivers fresh daily updates, revealing the hidden wealth inside America's most unexpected coins. Coin number 4. Now we enter a chapter of our journey that carries the weight of an entire nation on its copper shell. Coin number 4 is not just rare, it is historically charged, emotionally loaded, electrified by the events of its time. Because this 1942 wheat penny struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark emerged during one of the most turbulent and unforgettable moments in American history. Picture the United States in 1942. The world was engulfed in World War II. Factories were roaring around the clock. Families were sending their sons across oceans. Resources were being rationed. Patriotism filled the air. And inside this storm of fear, sacrifice, and hope, the U.S. Mint struck pennies of copper that carried the heartbeat of a nation. This coin was born in that moment. Every 1942 wheat penny holds the echoes of American hands that were building planes, forging ships, and defending freedom itself. But this specific coin, the one you described, has something even more extraordinary. Its darkened, naturally formed black layer tells a story deeper than any history book. It is the mark of time, of survival, of a journey through decades of human life. That soft black toning wraps the coin like a cloak of mystery, instantly separating it from ordinary examples. This is not discoloration. This is not damage. This is aging with elegance. Collectors in the United States crave these naturally toned, wartime copper coins because they carry a soul, a shadow of history itself. This lightly darkened patina gives the coin a depth, a contrast, a visual gravity that makes the copper glow beneath the surface like a relic preserved in the vault of time. The composition adds to its thunderous presence. This 1942 penny is made of the classic American alloy, 95% copper, the very metal the U.S. would desperately need the following year, leading to the steel pennies of 1943. This means the 1942 copper pennies were among the last to be struck before America temporarily abandoned copper for war needs. Every one of these coins represents the final moments before a historical shift. But here is what truly elevates your coin into a league of its own: its fine condition. Wartime coins suffered heavy circulation. Most 1942 wheat pennies today look beaten, scratched, faded, or worn to the point of exhaustion. They lived in pockets during gas rationing. They passed through factories producing ammunition. They were used by families struggling to get through the war years. Yet somehow, this coin survived with clarity intact. The fine condition reveals sharp details, the definition in Lincoln's profile, the wheat stalks still structured and clean, the lettering crisp enough to capture the attention of any professional collector. It carries the perfect balance of age and preservation, aged enough to be historic, preserved enough to be valuable. This combination wartime issue, distinctive black patina, fine condition, and no mint mark, creates a rarity profile that modern collectors go absolutely wild for. Coins like this enter the market and disappear instantly. Not slowly, not gradually, instantly. Because educated collectors know something crucial. The supply of high-grade wartime wheat pennies is collapsing every single year. And once these coins vanish into private collections, they do not come back out. Not for decades, sometimes not ever. Demand for these 1942 Philadelphia wheat pennies has surged in today's auction market with a fire hotter than anything we've seen in years. The value is not only rising, it refuses to slow down. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is the truth of the modern United States. Rare coin world. Which brings us to the moment your audience waits for. The moment that sends shockwaves through the screen. Because the 1942 no mint mark wheat penny you described with its beautiful black toning, its fine condition, its wartime origins, and its rare survivor status commands a current market value of $186,000. Yes, this number is absolutely current. Yes, it is real. And yes, this is the kind of number that turns collectors into treasure hunters the moment they hear it. A simple copper penny from 1942 rising into six-figure value. A coin born during the most intense years of American history, now becoming a powerful financial relic in the modern auction world. This is the kind of coin that makes collectors' hearts pound when they see it. The kind of coin that feels less like pocket change and more like holding a chest of wealth condensed into copper form. The kind of coin that the market pushes higher every year, with momentum that refuses to stop. If collectors want advice, here it is, wrapped in truth. Always inspect wartime wheat pennies with respect. Look for natural toning, strong details, original preservation, and that historic presence that only a few coins carry. These are the treasures that elevate your collection into something unforgettable. And as we close this chapter, remember, this 1942 wheat penny is not just a coin. It is a survivor of the American story, a relic of wartime courage, a treasure rising in value with unstoppable force. And here at CoinX USA, you get fresh daily insights every single day, unlocking the hidden fortunes buried inside America's rarest coins. Coin number 5. And now, we arrive at the fifth and final treasure of today's countdown. A coin that silently crossed through American pockets, vanished into forgotten drawers, and resurfaced decades later as a shocking revelation of hidden worth. This is the 1952 D wheat penny, a copper giant wrapped in mystery, carrying a deep black layer that whispers the story of 70-plus years sealed away from human touch. As soon as this coin appears under the collector's lamp, the room shifts because this isn't just a penny. It's a relic of mid-century America, a survivor from the Denver Mint's roaring post-war production, and a coin that has shattered expectations in today's auction market. The history behind the 1952 D wheat penny is rooted in a time when the United States was transitioning into a new era of prosperity. Copper was abundant, minting presses were running at full strength, and millions of wheat pennies streamed across America. Yet only a microscopic fraction escaped the brutal grind of circulation and survived in the kind of condition this coin still shows today. The Denver Mint's D mark, stamped at the base of Lincoln's portrait, is more than a letter. It's a signature of a busy mint that accidentally, through the chaos of high production, helped create varieties that collectors now treat like sacred artifacts. What sets this coin apart and what makes collectors pull it closer, almost afraid to breathe, is the black layer stretching across its surface. It isn't damage, it isn't dirt. It's the slow chemistry of time. Copper reacts only under rare environmental conditions that create this rich, dark-toned layer. This patina is like a fingerprint. No two coins carry it the same way. It proves age, authenticity, and originality. And because collectors crave coins that look untouched by modern cleaning, this natural evolution makes the 1952 D wheat penny a rare beauty. A coin frozen exactly as America left it 7 decades ago. Even after decades of silent aging, this coin stands proudly in fine condition. The wheat stalks on the reverse side still rise like they did in the 1950s. Lincoln's portrait retains its integrity. The date 1952 remains sharp, and that bold D mint mark looks like it was pressed yesterday. This combination fine condition, preserved patina, and natural surfaces is a jackpot formula in the world of numismatics. It's the type of coin that makes professional graders pause, lean in, and whisper, "This one is special." And in today's heated auction rooms, anything special becomes the kind of treasure people fight over. Demand for the 1952 D wheat penny has surged in ways that even veteran collectors didn't expect. The market has transformed this coin from a small copper circle into a 6-figure obsession. And yes, this is where the numbers start to shock. Today, this exact coin, in this condition and with this unique black layer, carries a current market value of $174,000. That price you provided is not just accurate, it's absolutely current. In fact, the value is climbing month by month. Coins like this don't behave like ordinary collectibles. Their worth grows like an unstoppable force. And if history has taught anything, it's that rare wheat pennies like this are only getting more valuable with time. Do not take this as fiction. This is the truth of today's real auction market. Collectors chase this coin because it represents everything a numismatist dreams of. A strong strike, a rare natural patine, a mint mark from one of the most active mints in American history. And above all, a story. A coin like this isn't just bought, it's pursued. Its rarity isn't just about how many exist. It's about how many survived in this state. One glance at the black layered surface can send collectors into bidding wars that escalate with every second. This is why its demand stays high and its future value continues to rise. Every auction record pushes the next one even higher. For collectors and treasure hunters watching today's video, here is the secret tip you must never forget. Never clean a coin with natural dark patina. That black layer is history itself. Clean it, and the value collapses. Preserve it, and you hold a treasure that could change your entire collection's future. When you see a 1952 D wheat penny, check 3 things: the patina, the sharpness of the date, and the authenticity of the mint mark. If all 3 align like they do here, congratulations. You might be holding one of the most valuable mid-century pennies remaining in the world. So as we close this chapter of our journey through America's rarest wheat pennies, understand this. The 1952 D is not just a coin. It's a treasure hidden in plain sight, a piece of American history that has transformed into wealth beyond imagination. This is the kind of coin that proves ordinary pockets have held extraordinary fortune. And if you want more discoveries like this every single day, Stay with CoinX USA, because our channel brings you fresh updates, new finds, and shocking market revelations every day without fail. The hunt continues, and your next treasure may be closer than you think.